Now, receivers, tight ends, even cornerbacks and safeties, harder to evaluate them because they're not even in the field of view. Like, I would prefer to evaluate guys using all 22 tape or coach's film, but we just have to work with what we've got. And it makes it harder to develop highlight tapes for like cornerbacks and safeties in particular because they're not even in within shot on these broadcasts often. That was a nice sudden get off. What happened there? I really like that get off. And it's a pet peeve of mine when the guys line up like this tight end is, where his body's facing away from the play. Why would you ever do that? Face towards the play. So he can see the snap immediately and away he goes, attacks his space. I would prefer him use his right arm to swipe away at the defender to get even more separation. And then here he needs to, I guess, slow down, and I don't know what happened there. What happened? Just couldn't quite get it. And that little bit of interference from the DB, I think, might have even prevented the touchdown. So probably needs to use his hands a little bit better. Yeah, so his body's facing away from the play now, which I'm not a fan of. So he can run that go route. Not liking his body language, like Alright, so he might have been a bit of a hold, but like the ball was sailing over his head. Like, I don't think that was really catchable. But if you're moaning, like, just run back to your team's huddle. Like, how can you be a guy that people want to play with if you're always bitching and moaning? So he's in the slot. Okay, that was a pretty ambitious play call because it seems like they're prioritizing getting Odunze the ball, and there's a lot of cushion. Oh no, so it wasn't necessarily built for Odunze. How do I... To respect the guy, I'll find out how to pronounce his name. Can't hear it.
Rom Odunze.
Odunze.
Rom Odunze.
Odunze. Okay, we'll roll with that. Decent ability to shield off there. Would have preferred to make sure he gets 2 feet in, catch the ball, and get his second foot in. I mean, it is just only college rules, but I guess maybe it's good practice to make sure that you have the 2 feet in. And you got to remember, this guy played for a winner. You know, Washington were in the college football championship game, so he's part of a successful team, which is a potential indicator of his ability. Man, Penix has some accuracy issues by the look of it. That's Penix, a potential draftee. Again. Nice body adjustment. At this point, if there's all this space over here, why isn't he just attacking that? He's actually staying close to the DB, and I'd be turning my eyes immediately and going run towards his logo, but he still doesn't have his eyes back to the quarterback. So quarterback's just got to have faith that he's going to turn his eyes around eventually. But some quarterbacks might not trust him and then might not throw it. So he makes the grab here, but I just feel like that was a definite touchdown because this safety sinks down. So there's all this space behind the defense. So Odunze needs to attack the far post now, I reckon. But it ends up being kind of like a vertical shot and makes the catch, but could have left more yards on the table just by where he decided to run, as far as I'm concerned. Showed decent hand usage there. I'd just want him to go across this way now where there's more space. So he's definitely a deep threat. I just want him to turn his eyes back to the quarterback a little bit sooner. Good ball security. Holy crap, he's quick, that's for sure. See, the elite receivers probably would grab that. Even if a guy's fucking with your grab pass, like catch attempt, if you can get two hands to it, you should come down with it, in my opinion. So from what I've seen, I'd have him in the same class as Daniels there. Probably second round pick value, I think. Alright, so that was a curl. Stops. I want him to come back towards the ball rather than just stand there. What happened? So that's... Okay, what was I talking about with Daniels? It's just the lack of shuffling in the pocket. So he needs to realize that there's pressure coming here and step up. And he steps up a little bit, but not enough. You want him standing like a good yard ahead of where he is now. This is just a game of inches, right? And this defender almost swipes away at it. Nabers makes a nice grab. Now, I don't like a guy celebrating so much when it's so early in the game. Like, maybe if you want to let your emotions out, do it at the end of the game. But right now, it's just a bit early, in my opinion. Conserve your energy. Okay, that's really, really bad hands. Bounces off his helmet, I think. And he didn't stop to allow more separation. Pretty lazy with getting his eyes back to the quarterback. Bounces off his head. He's got to make that grab. This guy's supposed to be an early first round pick, but he couldn't even make that grab against college competition. How do you think he's going to go against grown ass men at age like 28 who probably jammed the shit out of him at the line of scrimmage before he could even get a free release like that? Running the go, and then a curl backwards. Assume is a comeback route. Yep. That was easy. Thanks for highlighting the guy. Draft prospects. Big ups. That was a nice route. And again, just like Odunze with the earlier tape we saw, I'd like him to get 2 feet down, even if this is just college. Like, why not? Did he get... So that would be 1, 2. Yeah, I suppose he did get him down, but... if you're lazy with getting your feet down at this level, then it's going to be much harder at the NFL level. And it could be the difference between getting a touchdown and turning the ball over. I just really love to see attention to detail in athletes. Because being great doesn't just happen. A lot of thought should go into it. Alright, so he grabs the ball here, and I would Dante Hall him and step back to make this defender completely miss. Like there was that great Dante Hall run. Maybe should I bring it up for those who don't know? This is probably the best run in NFL history. And KC were down a lot in the fourth quarter, so they needed a big play. And watch this shit. And this is a really short guy, right? So that's what I wanted Nabers to do here. Look at that shit. And then run towards the guy that he just juked out of his shoes. Whoop! That's beautiful. So that's what I would like Nabers to do in this situation, right? So makes a nice grab. I'd like him to do a step back move so that this defender just overshoots him completely. But instead, is he even aware of the defender? He just runs forward, does a little fend, cradles the ball all right, but just left some yards on the table. I like big play receivers who are going to squeeze as much juice out of every play as possible. So Malik Nabers, okay, he's got some downfield speed. I like that. He's got some strength. Showed some willingness to ball security there. But if you're drafting him any higher than the 6th round, I'd be pretty disappointed in the team, to be honest. I would have cut that route shorter sooner. Good 2 hands grab. Gets his feet down. Great job. I like my tall receivers. See, Daniels has got a little bit of a hitch on his throw. It's a little bit sideways, a little bit stunted, like little T-Rex throw. As in, like, T-Rex arms are real short. It's not like the full extension of the arm. Like, I'd be attacking more towards this post rather than the far post. Like, at this point, just trying to attack, like, just above the helmet here. But this ball's just a little bit lofted, makes it a little bit harder to catch, I think. Because otherwise, Thomas could have just turned around, boxed out the defender and turned around and grabbed it. It's a little nitpicky thing. Because, like, this cornerback just allows easy release. But if he's glued to the hip of Thomas, then it's a jump ball situation, in which case you want the ball to be, just like I did with my review of Mason Rudolph, is like Rudolph puts it only where the receiver can get it. And here, it's just like a really savvy defensive back, I think, could identify where the eyes of the receiver are looking, and then just shove your hands up and bat the ball down. So I would prefer the ball to be about here and just a little bit earlier from Daniels. But Thomas seems to have some pretty good hands. Yeah, he's very smooth. Would have liked him to fight for extra yardage there. That's a really nice turn. Nice out route. Why isn't he showing more urgency to get open? Maybe he thinks he's getting into this guy's space a bit too much. He gives up on the yards after catch, and essentially you're letting the team down as a receiver if you don't fight for more yardage, because if you don't, then A, it's going to be harder to move the chains consistently, and B, higher chance of things going wrong as the drive progresses. Like, give me an offense that takes 3 plays to go the whole field, than an offense that takes 12 plays to go the whole field. You know what I mean? And if your defensive guys are tired because they're on the field so much, because the offense is playing so well, then rotate those boys out. He's a little bit lazy. Like, show some urgency to, like, I want the ball, I want the ball. Like, be your quarterback's friend. He's kind of just lazy getting his eyes back. And he's just not, he's a bit lethargic. Like, grab it. Now there's shitloads of space out towards the referee. Run as hard as you can towards that. But he takes a little bit too long to the point where now there's help coming. So, 6th round pick at best. Here he is. So, in my editing room, I could point out, like, which player is which by circling them, but, like, the amount of work required to do that's too high. So hopefully my mouse is visible enough for me to point out who I'm looking at. Is that 14 or 4? It's 14. Okay, so this is our guy. Is that... Dang it. We've got 14 and 4. Yeah, he's definitely number 4. No way that he's 6'4". Ain't no way. This guy looks 6'4". This guy looks like 5'10". Am I getting this right? Oh, there's Jordan Travis. I'm a big fan of him. Nearly a pick, but yeah, he's really good. But damn. That's a rough look right there. Was Coleman on the field much? See, look, that's how you throw under pressure. Does he drop this? Nice. Should have made the grab. There's no way he's 6'4". Could have done more after the catch there, so what would I have done? I think, yeah, you've got a wide open lane. Attack this. What are you doing? Attack that. Go straight through there. But he just doesn't have enough burst. Okay, so he's outside here. That was a really nice grab. Look how beautiful a ball Travis throws. That was a really good grab for a running back too. Dang it, I really wish we could see everything. I don't like this broadcast view. He looks quite competent as a blocker by purely just trying to push a guy outside. He's not really involved in this offense all that much. Look at that throw. Takes a bit of a hit, but gets it off quickly enough to be able to protect himself. This is a better view, see? Would prefer him to just cut back towards the quarterback here, because here, like, this defensive back could pick it off. I like a receiver who'll get to their spot and then they actually run back towards the quarterback, so that there's less distance for the ball to go and therefore less chance of an interception. Alright, I'm going to say Coleman's probably worthy of like a 5th round pick. So he's draftable at least. Unlike Marvin Harrison Jr. Or Malik Nabers, wasn't a fan of him either. Coleman's going to be a decent blocker actually, from what I just saw. And but just at receiver, you want a guy who can get open quickly, catch the ball, and then just beat at least 1 or 2 guys after the catch. And I haven't seen that from him. And he had a drop there. So yeah, and there's no way he's 6'4". So who's Florida State number 14? Assuming he's still on the squad. He's not. Can DJ move to freaking tight end already? I think he's proven he's not it at quarterback. He's big, strong guy. Move him to tight end. I'm not satisfied that I've seen enough of Coleman here, so this will be actual highlights, I think. Yeah, so this is the same game I was just watching, so a drop there. And here, I think I'd like him to just not stuff around with this, because his objective is to move this guy, right? To free up more space for his guys. So I'd like him to just run past straight away. And then if he is given the verts, just keep running it. Otherwise, cut back as he does. It's just kind of inefficient in getting to where he needs to be, I think. Okay, we've seen this stuff. This will be better. You're telling me that he's a top 5 wide receiver, draft eligible wide receiver in the entire nation? Like, it's just, we can do better. Like, he drops this. This is like a pretty fundamental just play that he should make. Get your hands free, make a strong grab, and come down with it. He's probably thinking in the back of my mind, oh, I'm being held here, so it could be a flag. But you shouldn't play according to what you think the refs will do. You've just got to make plays. Yeah, he runs this in properly, doesn't he? He's either got to get right in front of this guy or way behind. And he just runs straight. So he's not freeing up enough space for himself, and that's what happens. So yeah, what did I say? Probably like a 5th round pick, I reckon. Hey guys, check out my website. The link is in my channel bio for some of these underrated receivers who aren't in the NFL at the moment, but I think they deserve to be. Johnny Dixon and Keith Mixon. It will cost you $2.50 to watch it, but you get access to a whole bunch of other videos too, or $3.50 a month, and you get on my mailing list.